Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Torchio, Clinic Director and co-founder of Pangea Chiropractic in Bend, Oregon. And today, let's discuss the 6 major types of low back pain. The first type of low back pain is poor posture. Things like sitting and accumulating these negative effects of gravity as gravity is compressing down on us certainly does start to smash, agitate, and compress the joints and the bones of the lower back. So, while most of us are working from home, on the computer, using technology, driving long distances, we will start to feel these negative effects of gravity. Posture is the key to having a healthy spine. You see, posture is the window into the spine, and the spine is the window into your health. So things that we're doing a lot of, like sitting at the computer desk, really need to be checked. And if they don't, will accumulate into some major long-term damages and stresses of the spine. Number 2 is strains. Well, we've all strained ourselves over the years from time to time, and strains really come down to our lifestyle. Whether from chronic, irritating stressors like being in poor positions for too long, or injuries, muscles attach to bones in the lower back. In the lower back, we have many different muscles that connect to these bones, and when those muscles get strained, they put irritation and agitation and stress on the nerves and the discs of the lower back. Muscle strains really do best with ice, not heat, and also muscle strains need time to cool down and deflame, so to say. So rest and ice are your best strategies for a strained low back, keeping in mind that those muscles attach to bones, which we'll circle back to. The third type of most common low back pain is disc injury. Now, disc injury usually happens from, obviously, injury. However, something usually comes before the injury itself, which is misalignment of the bones in the lower back, creating stress on the discs. So when these bones come out of alignment, gravity pushes down and smashes and compresses these disc spaces. When those disc spaces become compressed and irritated, they become very susceptible and vulnerable to injury. Disc injuries are very, very uncomfortable. However, there's been studies showing that many people have disc injury and have 0 symptoms. Just because there's no symptoms doesn't mean that there's not a disc injury. However, if a disc injury occurs, it is critical and urgent that it is cared for properly. The fourth type of low back pain is sciatic pain. And if you've experienced sciatic pain, you know all of the symptoms and signs. Radiating pain down the leg, wrapping around the front, radiating down the side, or most commonly shooting down the buttocks, cramping and irritating of the muscles of the lower extremity and leg, oftentimes even numbness and tingling, or loss of muscle strength. Sciatic pain is very common and very serious if not handled appropriately because of how it can accumulate and create irreversible damage down the road. The fifth type of low back pain is osteoarthritic or degeneration type pain. And I have a model here that you might not be able to see, but what I want you to understand is that as the bones become misaligned because of traumas and stressors, things that we've already discussed, the bones start to change shape. So if we see the bones changing shape on X-ray, that arthritic type condition in the spine, that means that a problem has been there for so long that the strongest structures in your body, bones, have started to change shape. So if you've seen an X-ray of your spine and you've seen the rigidness of the bones or the changing shape of the bones, we know that the problem has been there for a very long time, sometimes several decades. The sixth and final and most common type of low back pain is something called a subluxation. A subluxation is when the bones in the back become misaligned from trauma, chronic lifestyle, or neglect. Misalignment of the bones is oftentimes the precursor for all of the other types of back pain. This is the most common thing that we see and treat at Pangea Chiropractic, and it is absolutely reversible. If waited too long, it starts to develop into disc bulge, sciatic pain, and arthritis. However, if addressed and correct while being caught early, can completely be restored and reversed. You see, our job is to understand and isolate. How can we make sure that your body is functioning and firing appropriately? Because when the bones become misaligned, it irritates, compresses, and kinks the nerve, leading to any number of these symptoms. My job as your chiropractor is to help address and understand where your body is misaligned, where these subluxations are hiding in your spine, and help you relieve the stress of these different types of back pain so that you can get back to living the life of your dreams and living the way that you deserve to. So if you haven't, give us a call, schedule an appointment so that we can spend some time with you understanding the root cause of your low back pain.